this product, BIOchar, and look out because there's a bit of a dust factor with it, but what does it look like? Oh yeah, you can touch it, and I've got wipes, so if anybody doesn't. Yeah.
This is the airspeed guy.
Oh, you're the born to airspeed man John was talking about. So who knows anything about BIOchar?
It's old and it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. It's and that's why I say it's new old. It's new to us, but yes, you're exactly right. They were doing some research and looking at different areas along the Amazon and found these incredible swaths of fertile ground just amongst really poor soil and poor growing conditions. And when they started looking and doing soil profiles where they would really go down to great depth, they found this beautiful soil, and in it they found charcoal. And it was from, I mean, and this is thousands of years ago. I mean, well before any of us were even begun to be being thought of. And and that soil is still fertile to this day. And how that came to be in their soil was that they would burn off their refuse, basically their garbage. So when they would harvest their gardens, or when they had like their things that they would compost, they would burn it. And it would be a slow burn, kind of like in rows, and it just built up over time. So once that was kind of rediscovered in recent years, people started looking at it as a way to, for one thing, lock up carbon and try and help with global warming. And we produce so much green waste, especially in the world, especially in our country. It's a way to use that and do something beneficial with it at the same time, and hopefully lessen our footprint that we're leaving behind. So we've been looking for the last 4 years. This has been a huge part of Kelby's research over the last several years. And if you're in the soils class, he can go into crazy detail with you. But what we're looking at this for is using it as a soil amendment for the majority of the soils that we work in, which are what kind of soils?
Clay and acidic. Just
Clay,
nasty.
but is it even go a little further than that? Yeah, we've got clay soils here. It's urban. Subsoil. Thank you. I mean, that's basically what, if you're, most places in this country, we're working with subsoil at this point, because all the good stuff has long been since hauled off, and what we're left with has very little nutrient value. And certainly then, to another level, when you start getting into urban street plantings and dealing with trees in cities where we want them to grow and be beautiful in a completely unnatural setting. So what we're hoping is that this amendment will act as a semi-permanent soil amendment. And before I go any further with that, we've got, so there's this kind of, I call it chunky. There's the chunky char, which is like the bits and pieces of wood that you can still see readily. And we would incorporate this using the air spade, like if we were doing root and vig on a tree. And the sweet spot that we have found with this is a 5% volume of whatever soil volume you're working with. Adding this at a 5% rate, it seems to be the sweet spot. Now, mind you, this is all new stuff.